Hey, cinema aficionados, Dan Patton, Screen Magazine, thank you for checking in. Today, we are going to visit with some of our busiest filmmaker friends from Northwest Illinois, the husband and wife documentarian duo, Kelly and Tammy Rundle. The Rundles run a production company called Fourth Wall Films out there by the Mississippi River. And their current release is a thing called Moved by Waters.
Well, ultimately, we need clean water to survive, right? Not to be, too doomsday-esque, but if we can't work together for something that we need for survival, we're in big trouble. I don't think it matters how we get there. We have to find out what we can do with what we have to make a positive impact.
At its core, Moved by Waters is a story about people making the world a better place. But there's a lot more details than just that. And here to fill us in on them is one of the filmmakers himself, Mr. Kelly Rundle. Kelly, great day for a Zoom interview, yeah?
Yes, it is beautiful. A little rain overnight, but it's clear at the moment.
Can you give us a few more details, fill us in on Moved by Waters? What's it all about?
Well, the film was made possible by a grant from Be Wild, Rewild, and they pitched the idea of focusing on a water quality collaboration story based here in the Quad Cities. And as we did the initial research, I almost felt like I was uncovering a secret network of people working on water quality issues. This work seems to go on kind of quietly, but persistently on behalf of a lot of volunteers and academics, students, seniors, just about everybody you can think of, working in their own way to improve water quality in our region.
How did the scope and how did your knowledge of the situation expand during production? How many interviews did you think you were going to do? And then what did you end up with?
Well, initially the goal was to make a 15-minute film. And by the time we had done all of the work and the production, we realized we had enough material to actually do a broadcast length, a half hour. I guess it's kind of an inspirational, as you said, an inspirational story that there are things that all of us can do, whether we're in a rural area, a farming situation, or whether we're here in the city, to improve water quality for everyone, in spite of other things we might disagree about.
Now, I saw this film and I was really delighted to see, the enthusiasm and a lot of, I would say 20 somethings. When did they, I think from Augustana College, when did they become part of the mix?
Well, that's where the story started, really, with the collaboration between Augustana College and a group here in the Quad Cities on the Iowa side called Partners of Scott County Watersheds. So the students are getting a very practical experience, something outside of the classroom, getting out there, actually getting wet. We were in the water too, filming that sequence where they were doing some electrofishing. And it was interesting for us, who started off really at zero on the subject, to learn more about water quality and how, in a lot of ways, you can determine that just by the bugs that are present in the water. They were trying to determine what fish were present in a warm water stream that was adjacent to Interstate 74. I mean, the sound was just deafening where we were filming. And it was amazing to see that this small stream was actually teeming with life. On one side, there was a freeway. On the other side was a shopping center. And so they did capture some fish. They set up a net, and then they they kind of, I guess they shock the fish and they chase them into a net. It sounds bad, but that's how it works. And that's one way that they can determine how healthy a stream or a creek is. All of these streams and creeks, of course, eventually make their way into the Mississippi River, which when I was growing up here many years ago at this point, it was a pretty dirty river. I mean, it still has its issues, but it's better than it was, and it's improving. That's the important thing.
What was the most interesting thing that they pulled out of the river while you were filming?
To us, it was just the variety of fish that are living in even these small streams that in some cases are coming through neighborhoods. And I think people don't think about what's in those streams. And they also don't think about how they can improve the water quality of that stream, for example, by not mowing right up to the edge of that creek, by allowing growth around that, what's called a riparian zone, which helps to filter out anything like chemicals or fertilizers that people might be putting on their lawns. Everybody who watches it can find something that they can do, even if it's just picking up trash. We could drop a piece of trash here in our Moline neighborhood, and it can literally end up in the Gulf of Mexico. When I was growing up, there was a lot of messaging on television about the environment. So there was a catchphrase, every litter bit hurts. And then later on, there was give a hoot, don't pollute. Those things worked on me, and I don't think we see much of that anymore. And I think we could probably use some of that messaging now. But Tammy and I walk in our neighborhood here in Moline for exercise, and I guess the trash was there before, and we just were walking past it. But now we take a canvas bag with us, and we pick up an amazing amount of trash and things that you just I can't even repeat, we find on the streets. So.
Let's get to the technical aspects. What when you got involved in production, what was the most challenging thing about filming Moved by Waters?
Just a variety of settings, I think, and being in some cases in urban areas, but often in wilder kind of settings. I was concerned about, we have a really nice camera, the 4K camera, Sony FS7 that we use for most of our production. And I was a little reluctant to take that into the water. So we did pick up a smaller camera that we used because I wanted to get in the water. You were talking about
deep. All right. How deep did you go in the water?
Well, the creek where they were electrofishing, when I was walking up and down the creek, it was about knee deep, but there was a lot of mud. And so a time or two, I almost lost a shoe because I sunk down into the mud. But it's all worth it to get the shot. So
there we go. Kelly Rundle battled the Mississippi mud to bring you the documentary Moved by Waters. Now, it's played in a lot of locations. I saw it at Shorts of Palooza. Where else has it played, and where can people go to see Moved by Waters?
Well, right now we're involved in a series of showings. We got another grant to do showings of all three of our environmental films, actually. And we were just and they're associated with 5 rivers in the region. So we were just in Waterloo, Iowa 2 nights ago and had a full crowd at the Waterloo Center for the Arts. Great discussion. And what we're finding afterward, too, is that people are kind of energized. Even after the film's over, there's a group or two talking in the theater. There's a group or two talking in the lobby, more people out in the parking lot. So it's great to see that people are talking about, I hope, what can I do to make things better? So we have 3 more of those showings scheduled in the fall. And right now we're just focused on those kind of high quality events. It's been in some film festivals. We'll be in more film festivals, and we'll update those things on our website as they become available.
And this is only one of the projects coming out of Fourth Wall Films at the moment. What else do you have going on?
Well, we have a film called Jean Seberg, Actress, Activist, Icon, that had its European premiere at Raindance late in 2021, so in the midst of COVID, really. And so it's been a little bit longer getting that out to the marketplace, but we're going to be releasing that film on Blu-ray DVD combo disc in July. So we're very excited about that.
Congratulations. And also you have the Hero Street series, which is the stories of the people who left neighborhood near you, small town near the Quad Cities, and fought in World War II.
That's right. The city is Silvis, Illinois. The block is, or the area where the heroes lived was 1.5 blocks long. There were 6 young men who lost their lives during World War II and 2 more during the Korean War. More lost than any other street of that size in America. So we're working right now on the 2 Korean War chapters of that story. So Joe Gomez and John Munoz. And we're looking forward to having those completed and premiering those around Memorial Day in 2025.
Congratulations, and thanks for sharing with us. You've gone from Mississippi River, you've got this Hollywood icon, World War II. Are the Rundles going to be doing something in outer space next?
I don't know.
Excellent. And there you have it, a great recommendation from a great filmmaker. Thanks for joining us, Kelly Rundle, who is one of the documentarian duo who created Moved by Waters and a whole lot of other titles that you should check out at fourthwallfilms.com. I'm Dan Patton for Screen Magazine.